Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames. I'm JP McDaniel, joined as usual by Ezekiel the Third, who's in his new house finally. There's no more construction. He's in an actual house of his own.
Beautiful and spacious.
I saw your setup on Twitter. It's looking good. It's looking good.
Yep.
We'll talk to you about the new house in just a sec. Also in his new house. And Future Man, have you moved recently? Are you in a new house?
Place.
You bought a house? That's crazy, man. Congratulations on the new house. I'm so happy for you.
That's great. It's a big deal. really great.
Glad to have you back on the show, Future Man. Zeke, the house, you're done. Well, you're like half done, right? You're not fully moved in?
Well, okay. I'm fully moved into my house.
Okay.
I have to just put things in place. Like things are still in boxes and whatnot. I still have to
They're always going to be in boxes. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Arrange the living room with the furniture and glasses and dishes and go grocery shopping, fill up the fridge and that kind of shit. So, but everything I own that I'm keeping that I want is over here now.
That's good.
The only thing I have left to do, which is why I still have to take even more time, like more days off, is because I have to go clean up the previous house that my brother was living in to get it ready to be fucking put up for sale.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
and
a
it's
nightmare.
a fuck pig. It is a fuck pig. It's a big, fat house with all kinds of rooms and goddamn grass to mow. Ugh.
I mean, I'm not saying you could, but there are people that'll do that for you for some money, Zeke.
No, I know, but there's
so
shit we gotta
inclined.
go through. Well, there's shit we gotta go through to make sure we want to keep it keepsakes and whatever the fuck.
Gotcha. So you have to go through the shit anyway, so you might as well do it yourself, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that.
I want to see Zeke out there tending to his yard and planting plants and
The neighbors drive by and he waves, hi.
hey,
No, you
neighbor.
don't even fucking realize how much we had to renovate this fucking house. We had to put a new roof on it. We had to put new concrete fucking steps on it because someone fucking jackhammered the steps for some fucking reason.
Montana's
weird. So we
weird.
had to do that. We had to clean it up. We had to repaint everything in the house because we had to recarpet it, retile, the whole goddamn thing. We had to gut the house and redo it. And we have a lawn now. I have a lawn and a dog.
I saw your dog yesterday before Blades. Is that your dog or is that your brother's dog?
It's my brother's dog, but it's our dog because it lives in the house. His name's Jag.
Jag.
Yeah, short for honestly, it's strange. It's a dog named Jaguar. Okay. But he's named after a Fender guitar.
Okay. All right.
Okay. There we go.
I get it. I mean, I don't, but that's cool. That's a cool name regardless. I thought of the old 90s TV show Jag.
On USA, right?
On USA, yeah.
No, that's what everybody says. He's named after that fucking Navy show. No, he's not. He's named after a guitar, which was named after a fucking a cat, like a big cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the long story short, I will have to redo after the winter, I will have to redo the entire lawn because most of it is a dirt plot because we had renters here that were not taking care of the fucking place. Mm-hmm. So it's a patch of dirt because they had a above ground pool that sat on there 8 months out of the year and just ruined the grass.
Jeez.
So we're gonna have to tear up the entire fucking turf and resod it. And I will be out there in my short jean shorts and tank top mowing and planting.
Can you listen to John Mellencamp as you do it? That just completes the photo for me.
Oh shit! It's gonna be Little Pink Houses on fucking repeat, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, you should stream it.
Me, bent over with my jorts on. I'm like, hey Naylor, how's it going?
Has there been a gardening stream yet on Twitch? Could that fit under creative? Does anyone know?
That sounds creative.
I bet.
Yeah.
What if you were planting some video game style plants? I don't know.
Yeah, just plant the Mario,
yeah.
Well, no, what if I just put
video game it somehow?
Stardew Valley as the title of the game.
Oh, there you go.
Stardew Valley.
Digging up stuff and watering my plants.
Yes, you should do that. That should be a thing that occurs.
I think it'd be great. Well, my brother lives in the basement, So he's my little brother too, so I can make him do whatever because I'm, the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make him be like the cameraman while I'm like doing like the fucking gardening and mowing and shit.
That'd be great.
I wonder how many fucking viewers that would get, because I know for a fact that Bacon Donut got tons of viewers literally watching paint dry. Literally.
I've done that before. I did that back when I worked at MLG, and this was like, I don't know, 4 maybe 5 years ago. But it's when I moved to my apartment in Galveston, and we put up a dry erase board on one of the walls, like the paint. And we sat there and watched paint dry for 2 hours and got up to like 3,000 or 4,000 views, which was fun. Just shooting the shit. It was really dumb.
Entertain and give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Ko, what about you? Are you done? Are you fully moved in? Is everything good?
All the important stuff is in. We haven't started addressing the old house too much yet. That's another big hurdle that we've got to be doing. And we just actually finished some repairs. Like our whole water system got signed off on yesterday after we got a whole bunch of work done to it. So it's moving along. It's coming along really well. But definitely moved in at this point. It's home, and yeah,
that's good. That's good. What was I saw your tweet about Time Warner the other night. What was that about?
Okay. So apparently what happened was the previous owners had everything in their name. And when I called to get it switched over, they were like, hey, we can't get in touch with the previous owners. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in the work order and you can go pick everything up and, and we can get it all set up and that's fine. I said, okay, great. So, I put that in, drove on the way to TWC, picked up a modem, hooked it all up, did the online activation, called them, figured some stuff out, good to go. 4 days later, they turned off my internet on Friday night at 9:00 p.m. And this was the day before I've been streaming every day for 3 years on Twitch Party, like the night before. So I called them at like 9:30 and I'm like, hey, what's up with my internet? My internet's been turned off. And the guy's like, oh, yeah. Well, let's just do some troubleshooting. And I'm like, okay, but there's 2 accounts, my old house, my new one. And he's like, okay, no, I see both. It's fine. So then we spend 20 minutes troubleshooting my other house. And then after that was done.
Was he like, now first I need you to unplug it. Wait.
Oh, the whole 9 yards, dude.
Oh, God.
Whole 9 yards. He was even one of the guys that was like, no. We need to wait 30 seconds, not 25.
Oh, dude.
20. We need to wait 30 seconds for the capacitors to clear. And that's the only way we could. I mean, it was bad. But anyway, here's the deal. This story could go on for another 5 minutes. Let's just cut to the chase.
Okay.
After 2 hours on the phone with them on Saturday morning and being transferred to closed apartments 3 times in a row, they ended up having to scrap my account and completely start over at Bear. It was, again, and it all happened because the dude, when he put in that initial work order, because I did it myself, no tech looked at it. So it automatically closed. The system said, oh, the work order that the guy did to install his internet closed. That must mean he doesn't want internet. Click. Even though I had done everything myself. It's just amazing. It was apparently the whole thing was automated. And and nobody knew what was going on. And
every single time I hear anything like this, I always think of that South Park. They're like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Internet. Oh, does that make you mad? Oh, tell me how mad it makes you. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I had to do the same thing with my internet. Like, I put my account on hold. I said, I want my account to be switched over when I've fully moved in. Mm-hmm. Come back. And they're like, well, your account is in arrears because I was like, I put it on fucking hold. They're like, why don't we just make you a brand new account? I was like, fucking whatever. Just fucking give me a pipe with internet that goes inside of it and put it next to my house and drill a hole in the fucking wall.
Man, oh God. I think I figured out, because I always have these every month. It seems like there's the dropped frames issues where I just can't stream, right? I can't stream no matter what. It'll drop like 30 or 40% of the frames. And I have texts come out. They can't figure out anything because it's fixed the day after they come out. All this bullshit. I think what's happening is every month I use about 1 terabyte of data. And that's down. I think it's around like 200 or 300 gigs, something like that. And I think what's happening is I'm hitting their limit to basically auto throttle, but they're never going to admit this. It's the only thing I can surmise is occurring. So every month, right around the time that the bill is due, I just need to take 2 or 3 days off because I know that I'm going to start dropping frames right around that day. I'm testing this theory in November. I'm going to BlizzCon. If I come back and drop frames, the theory is going to be bunk. So I'm hoping it's true.
I actually ran into that this morning, like a good 15-minute block that I couldn't hold a steady connection for more than 30 seconds.
Dude, that shit tilts me so bad.
Yeah.
Well,
I definitely, when I first moved in here, was running into issues. You call them up. There's tier 1, there's tier 2, and there's tier 3 support.
right.
You can get to tier 3. You can maybe have something happen. Maybe. But if they fix it, it might just be a short-term fix, because I had the same sort of throttling issue where it would be fixed for a short period of time, and then a month later, I'd be done for 5-6 days.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I called and I had another friend who kind of worked in that industry who knew how to talk the talk, and so they would say, "Hey, we think it might be this," and he'd be like, "No, it's not that. We already got that." And then he'd be like, it might be, you gotta check the node over here. And then he'd be like, no, we already ran that. It's not on our end. No. Until finally they were like, okay, we're gonna have to send somebody out. And they found out it was something like down the street. There was signal interference. I think they turned off the throttle switch.
That's usually what they do is they come out, they go check the node in the neighborhood that you're connected to and be like, oh yeah. So like, I think Anne had this issue where she couldn't stream for a month, and they sent someone out, and they sent a second person out. Then a third person finally came out. They went to the node on the street and said like, oh yeah, someone had a router on your node that was pulling more bandwidth than they were supposed to, and was stealing from yours. And it's like, or you just stop throttling me, like, or you just stop throttling me, like.
Well,
It's like, I could explain to you how the internet doesn't work that way, but let's just go with sure.
They give you that shit like throttling. We do not do that. That is a word that is taboo that we do not use.
Yeah.
How dare you accuse us of throttling?
that was the bet when it was dropping like 2-3 months ago. I think Aaron's told this story, but Aurelian was at the house at the time, and I'm on the phone with this rep, and it's like a tier 3 rep, like you were saying, Future Man. And she answers the phone, and I'm just like, hey, hello, these are the issues. And I think I'm being throttled. So if you guys could just fix that. And there was like a pause, and then she goes, excuse me, sir, we don't throttle. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything after that. And she was like, 5 or 6 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and look into your problem now, and just started typing. So that's like their trigger word, because they probably hear it all day. And it sucks too, because like these are nice people. Like they're not assholes. They're just doing their job. It's like it's just company policy to fucking throttle people, which sucks.
It's like the guy, the person at returns at Walmart. It's like, what a shit job.
Yeah.
Just have like all day listening to people just like, I fucking hate you. I want your office to burn down.
Yeah, it's like they talks to Twitch chat, except it's on the phone all day. Like that's kind of how I would surmise it. So, it sucks.
Well, but the thing is, it's just, and you try to explain, it's like, well, if it's not throttling, then it's just really, really like coincidental that between the hours of 5 and 9 every single day, I lose like 2 megabits of upload.
Yeah.
Winky ding.
Yep. That stuff sucks. I feel for anyone that goes through that, especially a streamer who goes through that stuff. I'll see like, I think Gold Glove will randomly just tweet like Comcast is not letting me stream. And that sucks. Like it's across the nation. We just need to move to Kansas City or somewhere with Google Fiber and just all reap the benefits.
God. How great would that be?
I've contemplated it, man. I've looked into houses in Kansas City. There's great barbecue.
I'll live with you. I'll be your little roommate.
I'll buy you your own house so you don't have to live with me, Zeke.
I'll live in the pool house.
You live in the pool house. Oh God, we'll see. Well, we won't see, but that won't happen.
No, I'll be your little Muttley, being like, yeah, boss. What do you want to do today, boss?
That sounds. Maybe you could work in the garden too. We could stream at Stardew Valley. You know, let's bring it back to games.
I got the jorts. I'm ready.
Let's bring it back. So we said we're gonna do some Q&A today because we don't. It's kind of like we're in the middle of games coming out, but there's not that much news to talk about. Like the news is, hey, games are coming out, and that's kind of it. Like PS4 Pro launches next week. I just found that out or remembered that like last week, so we'll get PS4 Pro's in, and
that, man.
yeah, what are like? I'm pumped for it, but what are we gonna play? Like, we have to wait till Final Fantasy comes out.
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna love my Final Fantasy Pro.
That's what I'm excited. they Tabata came out and said that it's gonna run better on the PS4 Pro. So like, it's worth an extra $400.
Final Fantasy 15 for $499, and it came with a free PS4 Pro. That's what I would do.
Exactly.
If I was playing Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I don't like. I was thinking like, how am I gonna? There's literally nothing. Maybe PSVR. Maybe I'll jump into some more PSVR and like do some comparisons there. But apart from that,
no, that's because I pre-ordered mine. I think it gets delivered on the 10th, right?
Yes, I think the same for me. Yeah, whatever the launch date is.
Yeah, and then that's when I'll probably start jumping into the PSVR and shit like that, because most PSVR mostly is sitting, right? You sit and do it. Yeah,
they do some like quote room scale stuff with the PlayStation Eye and the Move controllers, but it's nothing like the Vive. It's not that size of room scale, from my understanding, because the PlayStation Eye can only see so much.
Well, I mean, I had this. You have this empty house that you're moving into. Co can understand. Like, you have this empty house, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do this with this room, and then I'm gonna do this with this room." Then you start piling shit. You're like, I can't. I'm gonna have to think about this, because I was gonna have like a VR room. It's like, no, I'm not gonna have a VR room. I'm just gonna have to like kind of push the desk back and maybe do some PSVR like back.
That works. That's what I did when I did. I moved all the way back to the bookshelf and just sat there, which was fine. So, but yeah, I don't
like the whole office guest room, doing all that stuff. Zeke.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot I have another person that lives here, so I can't just do whatever I want wherever.
Man, that sucks. You should get rid of them. You should just kick them out. Just get them the fuck out of there, Zeke.
No, the minute he doesn't pay rent, he's fucking out.
Great, fantastic. So with that in mind, money
is thicker than blood.
That's true. That's very true. With that in mind, we're going to take some questions. And there was some news today, which we'll get towards probably the end of this. I think Twitch announced that they're using a new ad program or something like that. I've been up for 2 hours, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. But I'll read that as we're answering questions. So we're just going to go through here. If mods want to spam the link to the Google form where you guys can submit a question, we'll try to get to it. We already have about 70, so we kind of have everything we need already. But I'm just going to start pulling from this. So, do you guys think this has been a great year for FPSs? Either way, what's been your favorite game so far this year? And what do you think others have you played? Love the show. Keep it up. From Gargantuan. And that's not me pronouncing it wrong. That's how it's spelled.
Now, FPS, does that count like all first persons? Because I know first person shooter is what it means, but like
I think it's farm plane simulator, and I got to say Stardew Valley.
Farm plane simulator.
Yeah, really was the tops for sure. No, I did really like that game a lot, though. That's probably my top game. I put a ton of hours into Stardew Valley. It's one of those games where like it's just relaxing and like so calm, and the people searching through those streams were all pretty cool, laid back people. So that's up there for me in terms of my favorite FPS.
Yeah, it's great FPS. I think like Battlefield 1 knocked it out of the park this year. Titanfall 2 knocked it out of the park, which we'll talk about when we get to the games we've been playing. I haven't heard Call of Duty came out this week, right?
Doom, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, Homefront: The Revolution, Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, Shadow Warrior 2, Battleborn, Dead Island 2, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Space Hulk Deathwing supposed to come out, Destiny: Rise of Iron if you count that, BioShock Collection, Killing Floor 2 officially released, Lawbreakers, and Heroes and Generals.
There's like maybe 3 bad eggs in that entire list that you just said. So
and a few DLCs.
Yeah.
Oh, and Super Hot.
Oh yeah, Super Hot came out. Yeah, that's true.
Super Hot.
I forgot that came out this year.
Hot.
I think it's been a great year for FPSs. Coming off Titanfall 2's campaign last week, I want to talk about that in depth with Co. I don't know if anyone did. You play it, Future Man?
Yeah, I played it.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But that and Battlefield 1, just being a solid game in general. Granted, I'm not playing it that much, but it's still good. I don't think I need to say anything about Overwatch because people know how I feel about that game. Yeah, it's an all right game. I think it's been a good year for FPSs for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to say I absolutely agree, and I'm not an FPS guy for the most part. I'm much more comfortable with a controller in my hand for reals. But I would say that everything I've heard from everybody, it's been a fucking excellent year for different kinds of FPS, and I would have to say my favorite was probably fucking Doom. I would have to say
it's a lot of people's favorite, man.
Well, it was good. It felt good. And also, like, the atmosphere is very Doom, and also the soundtrack. Like, there are a few games this year that were made like 3 or 4 times more playable because of the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah,
that's an element that can really take a game from being a good game to a great game. The soundtrack by itself, there are games that are synonymous for their famous soundtracks, and I think people for years will be talking about how awesome Doom was and how amazing its soundtrack was. So they nailed it.
For sure. I agree.
And they implemented it in such a unique way where it's like each weapon has its own unique sounds that goes to the weapons and stuff. So it was brutal. It was awesome. That's up there for my favorite as well. Just because I went
to play some more Doom.
Like I played Brutal Doom, the original, like right beforehand. So I was coming off of that. And then I played Brutal Doom 2 with like all these crazy mods and stuff.
Yeah.
And they obviously, I didn't get to Doom 3. Not a big deal. I wasn't too worried about it. And they you could tell that they pulled so many elements from those first 2 games and just kind of made it a present day game that just kicked ass. It just was awesome. So.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. We'll be talking more about our games of the year on our Game of the Year show on December 15th. So that's a nice little segue to come watch that. Co and Zeke will actually be in my house for some fucking reason. So I can kick him out.
Dude. I'm going to upper deck you so hard. I'm going to make sure to hit every toilet.
I think Scoots did that too. And he was like, I completed the rounds. Yeah, Scoots, because he was here for Bounce Power. It's like, yeah, I did the rounds. I was like, what? He goes, I used every restroom. It's like, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was like a thing that people do.
What?
Oh, he just used every restroom.
Yeah.
No, I'm just picturing old man Scoots like he can get like hunched over the top tank, like with his face like
decking over here.
He probably would. Knowing Scott, he probably would for sure. He probably would. Kimak is asking, are there games that you guys have played on stream that you felt would only be fun with an audience and less fun by yourself? I think that's kind of like almost any game that I play is more fun when I stream it. Like I can't I can't play games offline besides like a Final Fantasy or like an MMO or like sometimes Overwatch. Besides that, some of these games I wouldn't even play unless I was streaming them.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
I'd have to say definitely any of the retro gaming that I've done this past year, any of the FMV games, stuff like that. Like if I was by myself, I would not have any fun. Like it's like watching The Room, that shitty movie. It's like watching that by yourself. It's a fucking waste of time. Don't do that. It's like Mystery Science Theater, but it's only you. You know, like I would never play a shitty game or a retro game like that by myself. It just defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
dude, I'm actually
like that.
I am completely on board with you guys. In my opinion, and again, just kind of echoing what you guys are saying, playing a game with people, especially new games, experiencing games for the first time with like a group of people that you see every day and you hang out with every day. That is amazing. That's one of my favorite experiences on Twitch, especially like we got Dishonored 2 just next week. I can't wait to play that game with all the people and see all the big boss fights. Titanfall 2, we played through the campaign, seeing all those incredible scenes that they craft together and stuff. Yeah, it's only better. In terms of if has there ever been a game that I've only played to stream? There have been a few that I ended up really liking after, being pushed to play them. Stardew Valley is a perfect example. I was not really into that game at all when I first looked into it. In fact, I was going to skip it completely. But then everyone was just like, try it. Let us know what you think. I want to know your opinion on it. Give it a try. And I was like, okay, we'll play it, for an afternoon stream, but that's it. And then I'm going to put it down there. 95 hours later, I woke up, what? And it was done. But yeah, no, it can certainly influence, and there have been a few. And I think for most casters, they'll have like a little list like that.
Yeah. Future Man.
Until Overwatch came out, I didn't play any other games off of stream. And then Overwatch was kind of the one where I would finish streaming and be like, well, I'm not done playing this game. Like, I was so into it. I'm like, I would take a quick break and I'd be like, well, I'm actually going to keep, or I would be like, one more game, maybe one more game off stream. And then like 4 hours later, I'd be like, oh shit. Wow. And then I know that, definitely games that I would not play. I've been playing scary games, and I know
I was gonna mention that.
I don't like scary games, and that's kind of like finally everybody asking for it, and I was like, all right, we'll try out Soma, and I actually have ended up having like an amazing time because not only are the games pretty scary, but they've had good stories. Like Soma had a really good story, and I'm playing Dead Space for the first time, and it's like, when you can defend yourself, I'm okay. I played the Outlast 2 demo, and like, no, I would not. Like, no, I would never play that by myself. But on stream, it makes it more fun when it's this group thing, and I ask everybody. So I turn off all the lights, and I'm like, all right, everybody get into it. Make sure you have your headphones on. Get fully immersed, and I think some people are kind of enjoying how we're bringing everybody together into it a little bit. So
yeah, I would agree.
Fuck scary games.
Fuck scary games. I'm right there. I agree more than any other statement said in this show so far, and probably the entire show. Shadow Z Gaming is asking his questions is more towards Zeke. So Zeke, listen up. How did you achieve a fan base following playing fan base following / Jesus? How did you achieve a fan base / following playing indie, smaller, not AAA games?
By being a better commentator than a game player, than skill.
I thought you were gonna be like than everyone else.
Just being the best.
No. I'm playing to my strengths. My strengths are not gameplay. My strengths are interaction and commentary, and I have a background in improv, so that really helps. So I'm trying to play to things that allow the gate to be open for interjections and interactions and humor, comedy, that kind of shit. Like you could definitely tune into one of my streams and say fairly say this is a comedy stream, because that's what I try to do like every day, is try to make people laugh. That's like the underlying, like, entertain, make laugh is like subheading. But also because I really enjoy discovering things, and the more you enjoy something, I think the better your show is.
Yeah.
And when I do the like Indie Sundays and stuff like that, when I play games that I've never even seen or maybe heard very little about, it's fun to see and to share the discovery of something new. Even like almost especially if it's bad and you hate it. Like, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were laughing their ass off when I was trying to play Total War, and I was just like, this fucking thing is fucking dumb. I don't want any part of it. Like, hating on something can be, can create entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just
refreshing when for viewers too to scroll down and be like, what is Zeke playing today? Boom, click on that. I know that I've been trying to mix it up a lot this year and kind of hit people with surprises a little bit, or even go back and play through maybe series that are fan favorites for a ton. To be like, we went through the BioShock series, and it's blind for me, and so it's entertaining for other people to be like, let me watch this person experience it first time. And so mixing that in with random indie games that maybe is not in everybody's follow list is a great way to differentiate yourself for sure.
Yep.
Oh, and also, it doesn't hurt if you can have an already successful friend. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that
I mean, that wouldn't hurt. Like,
yeah.
like
I wouldn't know anything about that, but you're saying like for other people if they do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best advice I can give for any new streamer. Like, know somebody who's already successful.
You're not wrong. You're actually not wrong. Ray Sorian says, do you have to pay for royalties for music / copyrighted sound effects used during your stream and or VODs? I was lucky enough, and I think a lot of streamers were lucky enough to know the people at Monster Cat, and I think every streamer uses Monster Cat on their streams. They're one of the, and the music's actually gotten a lot better over time. 4 or 5 years ago, it was not at the level that it's at now, or whenever they started their program. But for you specifically, you use a soundboard. I know Goth does as well. So how does that work? Do you own those sounds? Did you buy those sounds somewhere? How did that work?
Well, first I found what I wanted on the internet, and then I downloaded it.
Okay.
And then I started using it.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I think, there's definitely like, would you call that a gray area?
I would call it a very gray area, specifically because there's when I looked into this a while ago, there's time limits. Like if you play a copyright song, if it's not over X seconds, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there is copywriting with specific sounds, but I haven't heard of anything like it. And the kind of key sounds that I have that I can check on, I definitely do. And also a few of my sounds were actually, and the way the whole soundboard started, funny enough, was when a viewer that was a composer by trade actually made me a co-fair and co-fail sound, like a 3-second sound. Like my sad trombone sound is actually called co-pom. And he actually like made that in a DAW, and he did the same for co-fair. Like it sounds like the Final Fantasy VII victory sound. Those are both unique. And that's where the whole soundboard came from. So it just kind of grew out from there. I know a lot of the sounds I use were given to me from open source areas. And I knew a lot of that stuff from when I was a DJ. There's lots of like just big sound depositories you can use for that kind of stuff. But the more specific
archive.org has just like all archived sounds, TV shows, movies.
Yeah, absolutely. But some of the big ones I also like checked with the people, like the EverQuest ding sound and stuff like that. And so.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to, like copyrighted music and stuff like that, YouTube's probably the most aggressive platform that I think the four of us, or really any streamer, any content creator is going to be dealing with. And that's why if you look at something like roleplay, there's no audio except for spoken word on that, because people can just like Bob over in Ohio can sit there and claim my YouTube videos because he thinks it sounds something like his Cal said that this morning, and YouTube's like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and claim that. So that hasn't made its way to Twitch. I don't know if it ever will. YouTube's a little bit of an older platform, so that's why it's kind of established that way. Twitch has its own, I forget the name of the service or the name of the program that'll flag VODs, but they have their own thing, but it's not as bad. It just takes a portion of the VOD instead of the entire thing like YouTube does, which is nice. And in the past, it at least for me, it hasn't really been aggressive enough to, like when it first launched, I remember everything Nintendo was being claimed or something like that. But since then, I haven't had any issues with it. Have you guys had any issues with Twitch's claiming tool that they use for your VODs? Not really.
Nope.
Yeah. It seems pretty good.
Only if like something sad happens and I pull up like Mad World by Gary Jules for 30 seconds, then maybe they'll get that.
Yeah, overtly. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that hopefully that answers your question, right? Thanks for the question as well. Zeke, you have one highlighted. Do you want to do this one?
No, I'm just scrolling through.
Okay. All right. I'll pull one here. I like this one from Fuime. Why is Ko so bad at games? Ko, how do you respond? Well, I find another actual question.
Yeah, that's a great question. One that I am on a journey to discover every day on my channel. And unfortunately have not yet come to a good conclusion.
Okay. All right.
Years.
We try.
Gaming. Yeah.
Yo1612 says, what do you think will be announced at BlizzCon for Diablo? Do you think we'll see a Diablo 4? You guys think BlizzCon is this week? Do you think that's going to happen? I don't. I think it's just.
I suggested that as a joke last night to someone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's what the buzz is right now, is that Diablo 4 is going to be teased or announced or something, because otherwise what do you announce? Like, they've already beaten the horse that is Sombra to death, and people will probably audibly boo when they announce her because she's going to take over the stage and hack into the feed or some bullshit. Instead of just showing I haven't seen fans be more upset at something in a while than they are at like the whole Sombra ARG thing for Overwatch.
How long has that been drawn out? Months now,
4
right?
or 5 months, something like that.
It's
like,
kind of.
people
Was that the plan? Was that the game plan?
I don't know. They made a tweet yesterday, and like every response to the tweet was like, "Can you just fucking announce her already? Like, can you just fucking announce her? We don't care that she took over some fucking thing in Mexico. Just fucking announce the hero."
Let us play the fucking character.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I guess maybe a different question, a tweak on the question. What would actually be exciting for you guys, especially for Zeke and Co, who maybe aren't the biggest Blizzard fanboys like me and Future Man?
I want to see Blizzard throw itself at a new type of MMO, a game designed for a lot of people to play at once. That's kind of like, they kind of next stepped it with World of Warcraft when it came out. I'd love to see them take a chance, a risk, to put it bluntly, on a new product that kind of tries to up the bar a little bit. I mean, I feel like a lot of the World of Warcraft expansions, when you go over the feature set, is really just cherry-picked features from a lot of other stuff. There's some new stuff in there too, but it's not really pushing it forward. It'd be interesting to see them kind of take a risk and try something big and kind of out of left field, not just kind of like a rehash or a safe bet, kind of like Overwatch was, kind of like Hearthstone was. You know, they knew those are going to kind of be big and successful. Although I'm sure they thought the same about Heroes, and it's been okay. But yeah, I'd love to see them try something kind of big and new. I doubt they will, but I'd love to see it.
To be completely honest, so would I, because I would love to get in the ground floor and feel like if I jumped into WoW now, I feel like I was so far behind and I'd have to, take time learning everything. So if there was a new Blizzard MMO, I would love to see that. So I could, because I mean, I'm not against MMOs. I just don't like not being there from the start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'd love to jump into a new MMO if they were going to create one. And, Blizzard has, infinity dollars, which we said last night.
Yeah, they actually do. They do.
I think it'd be cool. I don't know what kind of MMO it would be, but I don't know. It'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Zeke. I feel like World of Warcraft is just too big. It's this big thing that I just haven't taken the time or had somebody be like, this is how you play. I just have no idea. It's foreign to me. Overwatch was pretty much my first Blizzard game that I really, really got into. I remember at PAX East last year, JP, they took us over for the demo. I was a big Fortress Classic, Team Fortress 2 player, and it just instantly clicked where I was like, I'm gonna love this game a lot. I don't know. I would really love to see them not release Sombra, just to see the
just be like
the fallout. It would just be crazy.
That would be good.
Freak out. They're not going to do that. But,
as a fan of trolling, I think that would probably be the best thing Blizzard could do, is not announce Sombra at BlizzCon. That would be hilarious if that was true.
Maybe they'll come up with a couple characters. Maybe they'll surprise.
I hope.
I feel like that would be almost a minimum at this point.
That would be
they
really
need
cool.
something for BlizzCon.
Sombra is like a team. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like each letter stands for a new character.
That'd be great.
Right?
That'd be great. Yeah, that would actually be that would be exciting for sure.
Just blew my mind, Future Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diablo 4. I think Diablo 3 is finally, and it's been in a good place for a while, but I feel like they've kind of hit their stride to fans of that game with the seasons and how all that stuff's working. Like, people that play Diablo or people that play that type of game really like what Blizzard is doing right now with Diablo 3. So I think it'll probably be a little bit longer if they decide to continue that franchise. Because right now, it's probably the one point in Diablo 3's history where people aren't just like, for some reason, passively passively aggressive to it. Because when it first launched, obviously they had all those issues and it wasn't what people wanted. But they've definitely hit a stride with how the seasons are going down right now. I
bet people would jizz themselves over Warcraft 4 like the chat is saying.
Yeah, Oh, yeah. I mean, in any continuation, StarCraft 3, Warcraft 4, Diablo 4, World of Warcraft 2, like any new title in a franchise that Blizzard would do or does.
If they did WoW 2.
Yeah, what if they called it WoW 2? We'd like to announce World of Warcraft 2.
How about what if it was World of Warcraft 20 or 40K?
Oh, they just flash forwarded 40,000 years. Yeah.
World of Warcraft 40K.
It's like just a big middle finger to the Warhammer guys.
Yeah,
Warhammer.
I'd be into it.
I'd love it, dude. Warcraft 40K. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Man,
I gotta say though, a World of
Warcraft, call it 39,999K.
Dude, a World of Warcraft 2 would be a nightmare for a game designer because World of Warcraft 2, after looking at World of Warcraft and every single expansion that's now in the game, you would have to cherry pick. Okay, what are we going to design? What are we going to make? What makes it? What doesn't make it? That would be, oh man, that'd be pretty intense.
Yeah, I agree. Mandrex92 asks, I see streaming to a fan base as a form of public speaking. Are there any struggles with learning to speak to a large number of people? I don't think so necessarily when it comes to just normal streaming, like streaming from your house, because I think a lot of streamers have said that, and I kind of agree with it, you don't see X amount of people in front of you, right? Yeah. Like you see a monitor and you're talking into a microphone, and I don't make the connection of like this microphone is talking to 6,000, 7,000 people right now. I see it as I'm having a conversation with you guys, or I'm talking about a game to a fucking. It feels kind of strange at first, to be honest. It doesn't feel like public speaking. It feels like you're in a room talking to yourself, because that's literally what you're doing.
But that's how we all start, though. We all start with 10, 20 viewers, or 5, 10, 20, and then it just builds up, and you get into the rhythm of speaking to like groups of anonymous, chatters.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So the numbers matter less the longer you do it.
It's kind of
as far as your like tone and stuff like that.
In the background I had, I led a guild for 10 years. So for me, I was already used to talking and reading people typing in chat, because a lot of times when we did raids for years at a time, in some cases, only the raid leader would talk. And if anyone had anything to add, or if they wanted to chat about stuff, they do it all in guild chat. So for me, it was kind of weird. It was kind of natural going to Twitch. It kind of a lot of times just feels like a big guild, and I'm just the guy that's playing the game and talking. We're all just kind of hanging out and doing our thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's similar in a lot of ways, and very cool about that.
What's the most number of people you guys have individually, you can answer, like that you've spoken in front of live?
15,000, 10,000.
Oh yeah, you're probably on like a game floor, like
yeah.
Okay.
Whatever the number was at BlizzCon.
Twitch stream or in person? You're saying in person.
In person, like living bodies in front of you.
Oh.
I'd probably say one of the TwitchCon like panels that I was on, Drop Frames or a roast or something. That's probably the most I've spoken in front of as far as breathing, human beings.
Yeah. Did you get? I always ask Ko and Zeke whenever
less than 1,000 people.
Right. We always ask, or I always ask the two of you right before we go on Drop Frames, like, are you guys nervous? And you give me the old like, nah, not at all. Are you actually nervous though when you're about to go up in front of all those people, Ko and Zeke, or when we do like those panels or anything? Is there a sense of like anxiousness right before you started, then it just goes away, or is it just kind of like?
I DJ'd for a while, so I
okay.
Where in my biggest in front of people was definitely DJing.
Okay.
I did a few of the big raves in Virginia as the off guy. So, but no, that not really. It did the first few times. I think probably the first time was the worst. Our first live Drop Frames, but it was all the others have been pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't get nervous before Drop Frames because I know you guys all have my back. Like I don't like if I had to go up and do like a speech in front of them, then yeah. But if I'm doing Drop Frames, like that's comfortable for me. That doesn't make me nervous at all. I wish I got uber nervous, like as nervous as I get like before the roast, like that kind of
roast. Yeah.
For sure. Spamfish's roast. That was a pretty big crowd. And then that online there was 40,000 people watching. And then there's the next level of like, I'm also roasting these other people that I actually like. And then you have to be funny. Like on the actual roast on TV, it's legit comedians most of the time, or people writing their jokes. Like I just wrote all these jokes. The best thing is right after something like that, where you're like, it went really well, and the feeling of being like, okay, now I could just chill. But yeah, there's definitely always, even anytime I've done any of the hosting things, there's still that moment right before it starts where you're kind of like, okay, here we go, and then you just kind of do it. You just do it. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
I actually took a public speaking course in college. It was online. So.
A what?
Yeah, I know. I signed up for it.
Seems like a contradiction.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I would drive to campus, and then I would go to like the media center, and they would have a camera set up, and I would give my speech to the camera and the one guy, and then they would send the tape to the teacher. Like,
that's weird.
I've done this shit ever.
For the longest time when I was like, I think high school, there was a public speaking course or like a speech course, and definitely in college. That was like, my anxiety was like at its peak during those courses in college because I hated public speaking. And then for the first time I think I ever walked out in front of a stage, like on an MLG or something like that, I was pretty fucking nervous, like pretty terrified. But the nice thing is when you walk out on those stages, you can't really see the crowd, because the lights are so fucking bright that they're in your eyes that you can't really see much. So you're just able to fucking, at least I was, able to just tune it all out and just do whatever you need to do. But yeah, like if I had to give a roast or a speech, like I gave my brother's best man speech at his wedding, I was fucking terrified. Like I hated every fucking second of it. But it's just, I don't.
Write it out? Did you like write it out and have something ready to go?
Yeah. It's still one of those moments that right before you go to sleep, you think back like, God, that was fucking terrible. I'm an idiot. Like it was one of those moments still to this day. I'll just think back like, man, that was a terrible fucking speech. And then I just fall right to sleep. Yeah.
Well, getting back to the question was any struggles with learning to speak to a large number of people. I will say, like, since I did theater throughout high school and I did like community theater, nothing like super big. But I'll say, like, the first time, like, there's a want inside of you to do that. Like, if you speak in front of people, it's because you want to. So I wanted to, and the first time you do it and you get a positive response, some people, it becomes like, it's like being a stand-up comedian or a singer or something. It's like a drug. It's like, oh, fuck. That is one of the best feelings I've ever had. So, you push through the nerves because you know the payoff is going to be so great.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a good way to talk about that.
And as you do it more and more and more and more, you get better and better and better and better. So definitely when you're starting off, it's one of those things where just do it. And even if you suck, even if you mess up, you can learn from that and still just keep going for it, unless you really suck, then just, stop. Just maybe it's not for you. Yeah. Just take an internet public speaking course.
Yeah, do the internet public speaking course. It's the best. Yeah. It's the best. Ocean Spray 2009 says, what were y'all's goals before y'all started streaming? When you started streaming, and how have they evolved as you've grown as a streamer? I think it's a good question.
Great question.
For me, I think my goal when I started streaming was to make it my job, because I had just quit MLG and I didn't actually have a job. And so I was like, I guess I'll try to go full-time streamer. And then that goal grew into like, all right, well, now let's try to make it bigger. And it's always just kind of, I set numbers. Like I always have a number in mind of some sort, whether it's, average viewership, subs, monthly income. Like there's something that I'm always building towards, even if it's just like a number that actually doesn't matter, which is a lot of times true. It's
just a goal.
Yeah, just a goal to be able to be like, all right, I've met that goal. Let's set a new one. I think that's important, at least for me, to be able to, just how I work. But yeah, my goal from the first day I started streaming as a full-time streamer after I quit MLG was like, this needs to be a job, because I can't work. I can't work a normal job. I'm not that. That's why I quit MLG. I couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't stand even reporting into an office remotely, let alone being in one every fucking day from like an 8 to 5 job, I would probably hate life at its most, just not enjoy it whatsoever. So that was my goal when I started streaming. What about you guys?
I was kind of the same way, actually. I started streaming just to show a game to some guildies, and quickly realized just by sheer luck how cool streaming really was. Within a few months, my goal was to get a sub button. Got denied like 3 times, so that was a half-year plus ordeal. And then and just like you said, JP, when I got the sub button, in my mind, that's when the real work started. Then you set your first sub goal, then you set your second, then you set your other goals, then you start setting life goals, essentially. Like, I want to have this much. I want to be earning X amount by this time. I want to be able to fully pay all of my bills, health insurance, all that stuff. I need to get a savings going because this is something I could do for the next few decades. Like you start, your goals get bigger and more real and more impactful to what you're doing. And then it gets to a point where it's just your job and you're doing everything you can to kind of make headway forward.
Yeah, I agree. Zeke or Future Man? Pretty much same thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I just wanted to make content and do something that people really enjoyed and appreciated. I mean, my approach to Twitch, we talked about it on the other times that I came on, but for those of you guys who don't know, I have all this crazy effects and I'm from the future and I've come back in time to save the world from evil video games, and it kind of was and it still is very different than a lot of other streams. You're seeing more and more people get creative with their streams, but that was what really set me apart from everybody else. And I try and bring in all the classic elements of a fun place to hang out, community based streamer, interactive in the chat. I just wanted people to like my shit and be like, this is cool, and also just have as much fun as possible playing video games, something that I was already doing anyways. Why not just do it as a guy from the future? Come on, right? That makes and it was one of those things where for a lot of people, I think the same thing kind of starts as a hobby, and I was working a full-time job as a teacher, and then there was the moment where things blew up, as they say, and I'm going full-time now. I think you see a lot of streams that kind of blow up and then disappear. And so I feel really good about how I've not only shown that we've got a theme going on, but I'm also hosting different events. I'm getting involved in different sponsored streams. I'm on a great stream team with New Game Plus, all those guys. And I think just
fuck that Zeke guy though. Yeah, that guy's an asshole.
Zeke! He never talks in the chat.
Yeah, I know.
Zeke was one of the newer members.
Yeah.
And I just hate Zeke. So
yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you just fucking say it, dude? It's Zeke, okay. Right? That's what you can just say it. It's fine.
Zeke. Yeah, it's turned into a bigger thing, and I'm excited to see kind of where Twitch continues to go with it, and yeah, keep on playing games, keep on having fun.
Have your goals changed at all, Future Man? Or is it just kind of like where you put a number or something?
I don't. My goals are to create new, interesting content. So we did a cooking stream. I've done DJs in space. I mean, cooking's been done, but the DJs in space thing, that was sort of the blending the music with the visuals. The idea is to then take it to the next level and maybe perform that live somewhere and then stream it from the venue. I think coming up with new, interesting ways to kind of take a spin on the traditional, just, all right, here's the game, here's the streamer, we're talking, hanging out. Something like Cohh does a lot of really cool forward-thinking stuff. And so somebody like Cohh is a really good example of someone who's doing things that nobody else is really doing with the different interactions between the bot and what you're doing with the website. Now, I know, JP, you just launched a community website as well. So I've been working on that stuff. Also, just the classic things like getting a YouTube presence going. YouTube's a little bit tougher, but I think trying to come up with new innovative ways. On Halloween, I watched a movie with CohhCarnage. So we watched a public domain movie, which watched Night of the Living Dead.
The original, the John Romero one?
Mystery Science Theater style. Talked over it. It's public domain. I didn't list myself in any category. It was just kind of like, you know, whoever comes through, you're coming through. I tweeted it out, and I think I'm gonna do more stuff like that. You pushing the tempo.
Zeke, for you, have your goals changed at all?
Well, my goals when I started streaming is just like my goals when I do improv or theater or anything like that. I'm doing it because I really enjoy it. And I do it for $0. Like if they stop paying me, I'd still do it. I'd probably do it less because I'd have to have a fucking full-time job, but I'd still do it for free. I'd still stream for free. I think I still love doing it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what, like if my goals changed, sort of like they've just expanded. I think like the ultimate goal is still the same. The ultimate goal is to have fun and entertain people. It's still the same. But I've also expanded that out to like, I want to experience as much life as this job will let me have. Like, as far as like traveling places, like Future Man was saying, like hosting things, like meeting everybody I possibly can. Like, like doing that is an extension of my job. Like, it's a fun job. Like Cypress Hill said, it's a fun job, but it's still a job. So when you're doing cons and that kind of stuff, of course you want to like, I love making friends. I love meeting new people, but of course, like that's how you make collaborations. And that's how you like get sponsored streams and stuff like that, is you go out and you meet people and you make friends and stuff like that. So sure, that's in the back of my mind, but the original goal has never been changed. It's always entertain and have fun.
It's good. Little lighter question. Hoptot says, what is your favorite animal, not a pet? And do you think it represents your personality? A little bit of an oddball question for the show, but I figured we haven't done an oddball question yet. So, Zeke, I'm going to start with you because I think you know your animal. I'm just going to put it out there. You know your favorite animal.
My favorite animal?
Your favorite animal. See, you've already got that glint and smile on your face.
No, it didn't say like, it can't be imaginary, right?
No, it has real pets, or sorry, real animals. You can't just make something up.
I was going to say dragon, but if it has to be a real, like it's a pet.
See, I thought you were going to say your drug unicorn or whatever.
Oh, Mr. Business?
Mr. Business. My favorite animal sells me drugs.
Okay, what is your favorite animal? Not pet.
Yeah.
And you think it represents your personality?
Yeah.
You think you know this? There's a ton of animals out there, JP.
No, I think you know this. I figured this is something that you went on a vision quest somewhere, sometime, and figured out what your spirit. Yeah, Burning Man. And then once you do a Burning Man, you figure out your fucking spirit animal. Isn't that a thing?
If that were the case, I'd be a bear. It would be a bear. It would be
but
big
it's like
and hairy.
The lovable, like the bear that hugs people, not the bear that fucking mauls people, right?
The Berenstein Bear.
Yeah, Berenstein Bear.
Yeah, like Billy Bob from Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
You may be talking about a different kind of bear.
But my favorite, like if I had to pick a favorite, like if I were to watch an animal show and it'd be like, oh, that animal is being featured tonight, I would like to learn and watch more about it. It'd probably be like a big cat, like a lion or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Coh or Future Man, do you have an animal on the tip of your tongues? Are you ready to answer the question?
I really like wallabies.
Do you think, does that represent, I don't even know like the personality of a wallaby though.
They're like mini kangaroos.
Okay.
Wallaby.
Pretty cool little creature.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Rocco was a wallaby.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
His best friend was a male cow named Heifer.
Fuck, I haven't seen
I
Rocco.
love that show. That show is brilliant.
I haven't seen that show in forever.
Also, I'm partial to man bear pigs.
Oh yeah. Oh,
if we were doing the imaginary thing.
Okay.
Are you serial?
I'm super serial right now.
Cereal.
Seriously.
Cereal.
Good old man bear pigs. Future man for you.
I don't know. Like something that could fly, I guess.
Like a flying squirrel.
Yeah, what was your previous Future Man name? Wasn't it like Eagle Hawk or something?
Power Falcon.
Power Falcon. Yeah, Power Falcon.
Yeah, I guess I would be a falcon then. Sure.
Be a falcon. Okay.
Flying
Yeah,
high,
dude.
soaring high, getting high.
Be a bird of war.
Yeah. I think mine's probably a sloth.
Is that like after prey?
Yeah.
Bird of prey, bird of war, bird of
Legion, something like that. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's the third tier. Yeah. Yeah, I think mine's probably a sloth. I think that's my favorite animal. I think they're just fucking hilarious to watch. Did you see that there was a GIF on Reddit the other day of a sloth going up to the top of a tree, and then this giant fucking eagle just comes and grabs the sloth and like flies off? This is like a full size, like a sloth that was probably like this big.
And it was like, no.
Yeah. His claws go like that very slowly, and then the eagle just swooped him up real fast off camera. It's like, oh no, that sloth's probably dead. That guy probably died right after that.
My latest sloth gif was of us. It looked like he was like on some dude's shoulder, and he was trying to pull him off, and he got super pissed, and he was like,
oh yeah, I've seen that.
He threw his whole claws and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That was one of the greatest scenes in Zootopia.
Yes, that was great.
Was one of the greatest fucking most funniest scenes in a cartoon. Was the sloth of the DMV
I agree, dude.
retelling a joke? Oh fuck! I was on an airplane. I was like,
yeah, I was on an airplane too when I watched that movie. It was fucking hilarious. If you haven't seen Zootopia yet, it's on Netflix. I think go watch it.
It's great. And is it Jason Bateman?
Yes.
American Psycho.
Jason Bateman from Arrested Development. No, that's Patrick Bateman.
Oh.
Jason Bateman from Arrested Development plays the main like Fox character, and he's just fucking fantastic. So
yeah.
I can't recommend that movie enough. Zootopia is one of the best animated films I've seen in years.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Robust22 says, question for JP. How's your experience trying Soylent, and would you consider buying it again? Yeah, I've bought it 3 times, 2 24-packs and a 48-pack. And I
thought it was nasty.
You didn't like it? Did you try it super cold?
Wait. Did you get the powdered form or did you get the 2.0?
It's the 2.0 mix.
Okay. I can only speak on the 1.0 that I was just like, I can't. I can't figure it out. But I hear 2.0 tastes better. So you obviously.
Yeah, it tastes like sweet soy milk. If you get it super cold, it tastes like sweet soy milk. Yeah. So I tried a 24 thing. I just finished up another 24, which is second, and then I have a 48 coming. Because that's like a 24 pack is like a week of Soylent, because I'll drink 2 a day, drink one right when I wake up, and then drink one during a stream, so I can stream without being fucking starving and not have to eat on stream, which is nice. For the line of work that we do, or that I do for streaming, I think it's like fucking awesome. It's perfect. I don't know if I had like a normal job or a job that would allow me an actual break to go eat food if I would do it, just because I enjoy food, and I think a lot of people enjoy food. But it's definitely a quick fix if you need some calories to burn, because it's like 400 calories per drink, which will last about 3 to 4 hours on a stream, or 4 to 5 hours on a stream.
Yeah, the 1.0 is like the black and white part of the infomercial, where you're like trying to do whatever that's supposed to be. They show whatever they're trying to sell, the bad version of it, that's what it is. So the 2.0 is like, yeah, Soylent 2.0, super easy right here in the package. 1.0, it comes in a big bag, and then you gotta like dump part of the bag into the pitcher, and then you put the pitcher, and you get the water, and you mix it up, and then you have to pour the rest of the bag in.
Yeah.
But like the powder's like spilling everywhere, and then you gotta shake it up, and it like leaks out of the pitcher, and then it goes bad in 2 days if you don't drink 4 gallons of whatever the pitcher is. Soylent.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It's nasty. It settles weird, so I would have to go and shake it up. I hated it. It was gross. 2.0, try 2.0.
Yeah, mine's great. I just fucking like remove the plastic on the top and chug it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I keep the fridge cold, and it actually froze the like the last bottle of Soylent, and so I had like, it was kind of like a milkshake. It was really. I don't know if I liked it because the Soylent separated for some reason. That I think the like good tasting parts of it were unfrozen, and the bad tasting parts were frozen. or like milk. I don't know. It was weird. It was definitely. I would not drink Soylent as if it was a milkshake, for sure. But just as cold as I can get it without it freezing is definitely how I drink it. Koh, your face looks disgusted.
My face looks like Soylent taste.
Have you tried it before, Koh?
No.
Okay.
Oh god.
Do you like?
It's not horrible.
Yeah,
It's not that bad.
No.
I think that's the best description for it. It's not horrible. You can drink it.
Yeah.
It's not.
I actually do. I enjoy the taste after, and probably because I've just drank so much of it now.
What is the taste? It's like
It's
weedy?
a sweet soy milk
It's a sweet soy milk.
that maybe has like a little bit of a. This is such a negative thing to say, but it kind of describes it. It's got like a chalky aftertaste to it, texture wise, not taste.
Yeah, like chalk.
Yeah. But like if you tell people, yeah, it tastes like chalk, they're like, well, that fucking doesn't sound good. But it's like the texture afterwards is kind of chalky.
Is that supposed to be? That's not good, right?
I would say it's probably the flavor profile. It's probably the worst part of it. Of the flavor
So
profile
it
of
tastes
Soylent.
like chalk, and the worst part about, or it tastes like you're drinking chalk, and the worst part about it is not that, but the taste of it, as it tastes like chalk.
No, the texture.
It feels like chalk.
It feels like there's a. It feels like there's like I don't want to say sediment, but it's like a light sediment afterwards. Using the most descriptive words possible in my vocabulary. Definitely not doing a good job selling it. That's for sure. But I'm not sponsored by them, so fuck it. It's still. I still enjoy it. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's do one more question, and then we'll talk about this new ad thing that Twitch announced because I want to read what the fuck that's about.
Oh, there it is. The once per show blast of sound.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
That big ass chirp.
That happened.
Does it happen at the same time every time, JP?
No.
No, it's completely random. Like it happens. I saw it or heard it the other day on Co-optional. I heard it during the Riot finals, the World Finals. Like, I don't know what it is, man. And like everyone I've asked are like, yeah, I have no idea. Like,
I heard nothing. I didn't hear anything.
no,
No,
you won't hear anything. It's only chat.
We never hear it.
Only chat will hear it.
It's something on the broadcast.
Yeah.
You'll hear it in the VODs too, I bet, right?
Yeah, I think it's in the VODs. Yeah, I don't know if it's in the local recording of the VODs. I think it might be. But yeah, I use XSplit. OBS does it too because it happens all the time to Dan's Gaming and Giant Waffle, and they use OBS to stream. It doesn't happen during my normal game streams during OBS, so I don't know what the common thread is. I have no fucking idea why it occurs, but it sucks
No,
for viewers.
it's a Zoom thing, and I mean, it hasn't happened with Blades in the Dark yet, so.
I don't think it's a Zoom thing though at all because like
Oh, you don't?
Giant
Okay.
Waffle and Dan have it happen to them. Riot World Finals, like they don't have any. That's all like a fucking full on production, and maybe at the end they're feeding out. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I wish I knew, but I don't. So let's do one more question. Have you guys seen anything that you really want to answer in here? Have you gone through the questions all? We had like 150, so thanks everyone for all the submissions. I'll just pick one final one here.
Random question while you're doing that. Are we back? Are you back before next drop frames? We're doing drop frames next week. Or are you gonna be at BlizzCon?
I get back on Sunday, so yeah, I'll be back
Okay.
next week. Yeah. A lot of these we kind of answered before.
Yeah, there was one that I saw. Let's see here. No.
People, you still got people trolling you, Co. Still want to ask you how it feels to answer the same question over and over again. We got like 4 or 5 submissions for that.
To be fair, it's a great question.
I mean, yeah, it's got some legs to it, I think.
The number 35 Cynical Giants question.
Do it. Read it.
Are there any aspects of streaming culture and behavior that you view as damaging or unhealthy to streaming as a whole being taken seriously as a professional industry?
Meme streamers.
Meme streamers, you think that's damaging?
I think if people view Twitch, their first experience with Twitch is tuning in. Well, maybe it's less the idea of the meme streamers and more the idea of the type of community that they're creating. Like if someone You go up to someone on the street and show them like, hey, look at this thing. This is a Twitch stream. They see it. They're going to see the chat moving super duper fast. They're going to be like, what the fuck is that? They're going to get a little bit closer than just read like the horrors of the internet occurring in front of them. I think that could definitely put a bunch of people off. Maybe less of that's less on the streamers and more of just the type of community they're creating. But apart from that, I don't know. I'd have to think about it a little bit longer. What about the rest of you?
I think a lot of times streamers, especially some older streamers, can get really big and kind of just completely stagnate on everything. Like they stop caring about their overlays, they stop caring about how they look, they stop caring about the camera. And you get to a point where you sometimes have pretty popular streamers that look nothing like it becomes night and day when you see one of those streamers and a streamer that's like has a schedule and is working hard and is like trying, like, and I think a lot of times that it's kind of unfortunate because people will come to Twitch and they'll look through the big streamers like, okay, what's this? And they'll see some of those guys and they will rightly in their head go, oh, this guy, he didn't even brush his hair. He just got up and turned on his computer. He's got like basic text over the screen. Nothing's going on. And they kind of go and they kind of go, why are people watching this? And if they ever ask that to themselves, that's a hit against all of us.
I agree.
Because especially on some of the big channels where it's just like, what am I watching? So and again, most top streamers, don't get me wrong here. Most top streamers are great about this. So and I don't have any names to give out or anything like that. But it definitely can be impactful. And I've actually talked to people that have checked out Twitch and run into that exact situation where they have said, yeah, we kind of went another direction with our program that year because we didn't really see any big streamers that were hitting the audience we wanted to, that we thought were at the quality of our brand. And it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
If they would have pulled the trigger on that, that would have meant that potentially a lot of smaller streamers, if you start an advertising campaign on Twitch, at that point you start looking at other streamers. But if you make that initial if that first impression is that bad, everyone's affected.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that I've thought about. I'm sure Twitch thinks about on a daily, if not hourly basis, is like the first impression of someone joining Twitch and how to somehow cultivate a positive experience for that person in a world where there is no, like, there are rules, but there are not, like, Twitch doesn't say like, all right, guys, if you're going to stream and you have X many viewers, you have to have an overlay that does X. Like that doesn't exist and shouldn't really, for the most part. But yeah, like cultivating a positive experience for brand new people visiting the website is probably a hard thing to do. I don't know how you solve that, and I'm sure Twitch is trying to. But again,
well, it's an interesting question because as much as it's weird to think about, Twitch is not its broadcasters, and the broadcasters are not Twitch. Right. Twitch is a platform in which people can have their own private areas to put on their own essentially private shows. Now, there's a lot of back and forth, obviously, and there's TwitchCon and all these other things that are going on. But at the end of the day, Twitch is a platform. It's not a collection of streamers. It is a streaming platform. And their reach is the math in which people are watching those streamers. And that's kind of where it is. So, and that's where it should stay because, you go any further than that, just like you said, that's when it starts getting concerning when Twitch is like, well, who do we want on our platform? If our broadcasters represent us, that means they're representing our brand. And at that point they go, who do we not want representing our brand? And that's when it starts getting dangerous territory. YouTube is starting to do that now with that big recent patch at the demonetization. We're seeing that happen. And what's kind of nuts is there was a huge explosion about that. And then everyone kind of stopped talking about it.
As the internet does,
Exactly. And now, of course, the bigwigs over there are going, well, that wasn't that bad, and it's like, and it's a little concerning, to be honest.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that'll, is industry tries to catch up to the explosion of the internet and the almost, I guess, nonsense in a positive form of the word of the internet. You're going to see people try to like put order into a place like Twitch where there really isn't order, or on YouTube, which you're kind of already seeing just in general everywhere. And I hope that is done appropriately. And I hope it's done enough to like keep the internet fucking strange and weird and bizarre at the same time. but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to destroy a lot of creativity whenever that starts coming down in the next couple of years. And hopefully, there's enough people to combat that at that level to where it doesn't occur, but it's probably going to, which is just a shame, but not much you can do about that. Future Man or Zeke, any opinions, thoughts, concerns?
The reason why I actually picked this question is because I'm having a hard time answering it. Like, any aspects of streaming culture and behavior that you view as damaging or unhealthy to streaming as a whole being taken seriously as a professional industry. Well, I mean, it's a performance platform. It's like television. It's like, do you think like things like true TV shit, like what's the celebrity watching show? It's 3 letters.
Celebrity watching show.
Well, there's the network E.
No. That show that the paparazzi show.
TMZ.
Thank you, TMZ.
Yeah.
Like TMZ, do you think that's stopping television from being taken as a professional industry? I don't think so. Of course, there's going to be all kinds of stuff, and you could point to this or that or the other thing, but I think Twitch has a way of weeding out anything that's super poisonous. Like there's certainly things that turn you off that you don't like. I mean, like meme streams, boob streams, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But I think the ultra poisonous stuff is weeded out on its own. Like I think we take care of our own.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean,
yeah.
I'll also say I think if people watch, if they tune into me playing Overwatch, just like I was saying, the meme streamers, that's a really bad thing because I'm just spewing the worst volatile language out of my mouth.
Well, and it's also important to mention, like channels like CohhCarnage, which are literally trying to foster that attitude of hatred and anger and frustration. That's her show. And she rides that wave, and she rides it well. And the people that are in on the joke are sitting in there eating up every second of it. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy. At the same time, about the question, like think of a normal broadcaster who has 30 seconds of their day to stop by Twitch and see what it is, and they pull up CohhCarnage stream. That's going to be an interesting experience for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation. I hope the people that are really considering that kind of stuff and are very interested in Twitch as a whole go to Twitch first,
right?
Because that way they kind of get the whole vision of it. And just like Zeke said, which is a perfect example, it's a platform. It's like television. So if they kind of be like, hey, Twitch is TV, so just keep in mind there's lots of channels.
Yeah.
And you can find what you want on a channel if you don't like it on what you see at first. Then that's awesome. So
yeah, that's in thinking of ways that Twitch can show people that are going to them the different sides of Twitch. That's a great way for, I think, Twitch, and that's kind of what they do, to my knowledge, when it comes to advertising and whatnot. It's a great way to show the platform off in that sense, because otherwise, like, you can't, if you tell someone just go to twitch.tv and poke around, like, there are things that they will run into that will definitely raise some questions or flags, and hopefully if the person is interested enough, they'll be like, hey, what the fuck is this and why is that occurring, and what is this and why does that occur, which is the complete opposite. Like, maybe they'll be interested in the different style of streams. But some people will tune in and just be like, well, that's fucking dumb. The guy was just screaming constantly. Why does this Ezekiel the third guy just scream nonstop on a stream? I don't want to watch that, and turn off. Like,
I like Total War. Why is he just yelling at it?
yeah. Like, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that's happening right now to this very stream. Why the fuck are these guys talking about this shit? I don't want to watch it. Like, I'm never coming to Twitch again. Like, that's probably gonna happen.
I already left because of this show.
Yeah.
Done.
Exactly.
Sometimes I worry that like some of the biggest broadcasts that's where you get some of the nastiest stuff out of Twitch chat. And that kind of worries me, I think, because those are the channels that are at the top. They're listed first. And
sure,
you come in, you click it, and you see chat just spamming the worst things possible. No moderation at all. I mean, they're out there. That would look really bad for somebody coming in and checking out Twitch for the first time. And it's possible to have a large chat and have it moderated. There are tools in place, but sometimes it's just completely unmoderated. And I think you get a little bit of a mix between the worst of the worst, and sometimes it turns into something good. Like you get a Bob Ross. Like Bob Ross turned into something amazing, and I think a lot of people were probably exposed to the Bob Ross stream for their first time coming to Twitch, and so it really depends. It really depends, and I don't know what Twitch could do to kind of counteract that. That's kind of just the internet, I guess. What everybody says, it's like, well,
and in a lot of ways, Twitch is kind of like the melting pot of the internet for sure.
Yeah.
And hopefully that it seems like that's going to continue to grow. Is like I think if we live in a world where people are, the quote, the meme streams are removed, I think that does nothing but terrible things for Twitch. Not Twitch as a platform, the broadcasters on Twitch that don't do that type of content, like everyone. While I say that is a lot of negative things, I'm glad those streams can exist because they fucking bring in a shit ton of people that wouldn't be here otherwise. So at the end of the day, like, fucking just keep Twitch weird. That's just like the internet. Just keep it as weird. Fucking give me all the Bob Rosses. Fucking stream Zeke doing gardening and calling it fucking Stardew Valley. Like, keep it fucking crazy. That's all I want at the end of the day. And that's all anyone should want on the platform for sure. Let's do a little bit of news and then we'll take a break because we got about 10 minutes before our half hour. Twitch introduced something.
More beer badly.
Co needs some more beer. You could just reach back in the fridge, can't you?
It's not in your.
It moved? Co, you had a sweet setup, man. What the fuck?
Dude, I've got a spot. It's literally got tape on the ground for the fridge. I just need to get it. I did order one of those Nuka-Cola fridges, though.
Oh, nice.
So I'm waiting, but it doesn't come until the end of the month. So.
Can I just say something about Co's setup? Like, I saw his previous setup, like, because I, visited his house, stayed there. It's just like every other, starting streamer setup that has a little bit of money but has not moved yet. There was like pieces and monitors and shit like that in this little tiny corner, this little 10 by 10 little square.
Yep.
My entire studio for 3+ years was the back corner of a small room in the middle of my house. You could not have picked a worse location for a streaming setup. And I literally, my green screen was pinned further forward than my chair, so the top of it would lean across the back.
I want to see what you say, Zeke, when you get here in December. Because my setup is very strange in the sense that my front door is 10 feet that way, and you can see straight into this setup forever. When people were coming, I stream and it's like the people that lived here before me. This is where they put their piano.
Oh, the piano room.
The piano room, I guess. I don't know what the fuck you call this. I don't know this type of stuff. I guess it's like it's not the living room because that's all the way over there. I don't know what you
live in a big house.
Yeah, it's like 3,500 square feet. But yeah, you can see it right from the front. So I might film your first reactions to the house, Zeke, because I think that would be interesting.
I thought about putting my streaming setup right by the front door, and
it might be that, Fisherman.
I have to consider which way my mouth is pointing as far as neighbors go.
Oh, really?
Because I scream and I'm loud.
Oh.
I don't want them fucking calling the cops. So I'm situated where I'm facing the alley. The street that I live on is that way. I'm facing the alley. The neighbors are on either side of me. So I'm trying to point my yelling towards the place that will cause the least amount of,
Oh. Yeah, this room is kind of in the center of the house, so I just scream at the top of my lungs. I don't think they can hear me. I don't know. I don't know how that goes. The last bit of news, though, or the first bit of news, really, that we want to talk about before we take this break. This was announced 5 hours ago. Twitch introducing something called SureStream. It's for a better video ad experience on Twitch. Have you guys read anything about this, or is this all brand news to you?
You said this was 5 hours ago?
5 hours ago. I saw streamers tweeting about it when I woke up, and I didn't know what the fuck it was.
No.
So I don't know if SureStream is a thing that Twitch made, and that's what they're calling it, or if it's an already existing platform that they're bringing over. But But for viewers, they say the first thing right off the bat is that they're fixing the long-standing ad volume problem on Twitch. It's great fucking news. Like, it's fantastic. That's been there since 5 years ago. That's been a problem that's been plaguing Twitch in general. They said for partner streamers, they're hoping to provide us with more opportunity to earn revenue from ads. Your channel subscriptions become more valuable as the ad-free benefit gets more meaningful, while the overall experience for your viewers will be improved, making your content more sticky. That is basically a paragraph that means absolutely nothing. I don't know what any of that means. Like, those are just words that don't have any value to them. I don't know what that means.
Did you already mention the volume?
Yeah. Like, I read through this announcement and maybe I missed something, but it literally, like, the only thing that I see is like, hey, viewers, you're not going to be fucking mute after an ad plays because we're lowering the volume on it. That's all I got from this. I don't know what the fuck this is. But it's a gradual rollout of SureStream. It's a new video technology.
What's the URL for that?
I'll post it in the chat. And I'll post it in Twitch chat as well.
Provide more opportunity to earn revenue from ads. Is that just and then the subscriptions become more valuable as the ad-free benefit gets more meaningful, while the overall experience for your viewers will be improved.
Oh, wait a second. Are they going to put ads into the stream?
Maybe.
Because that would bypass ad block.
Well, apparently someone said go read the TechCrunch article because they actually explain what it is. So right here it says Twitch's SureStream ads, once enabled, won't be able to be bypassed by viewers even if they have a third-party ad and content blocker enabled.
So they're going to be injecting the ads directly into the stream instead of overlaid in standard format. So in other words, yeah, this I mean, it's gonna suck for people that use ad block, but it could theoretically mean broadcasters get more for ads.
Yeah, or actually get ad money
potentially rather significantly.
Yeah.
And hold on, before we go any further, ad-free subscriber. That's a choice that all partners have, right?
Yes.
Can set their channel to be ad-free for subs. Yes.
Okay, good. That's all I want to know, because I know that I have it, but I didn't have it for a long time because I wasn't grandfathered in.
Yeah, that was like a year ago when they announced it. A while back, yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure they will stick with that. I'm sure.
This is interesting because I've never really had the need to turn on that no ads for subsync, because I only run one roll of ads and I do it at the very end of the stream. But if this is going to happen, and this means all the pre-rolls and stuff can't be blocked and all that stuff, like this, this is going to be interesting. When does it say this is rolling out?
It said in their actual announcement. Let's see. Oh, I fucking closed it. Oh no, here it is. Fuck. They don't actually list a date, I don't think.
And Twitch Prime too.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Yeah. Today we're taking a big step by starting a gradual rollout of SureStream. So I'm sure partners that are, early adopters of whatever. How the fuck did I get here? It's not where I was. Here we go. Early adopters who are in or partners who are in early access stuff maybe already have it active. I don't know. This is the first thing I've ever heard of this. I didn't even know it was a thing until I woke up this morning. But sounds great to me. It means people won't be able to ad block, which is good. Or at least as easily. I'm sure eventually the plugins in Chrome will figure something out, but cool.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm getting a lot of really good questions in my chat. Like, how is this going to affect VOD ads? What happens if you interject ads on the playlist? Like, yeah, this is gonna be
a lot
for this.
As usual, Twitch announced something and then said absolutely nothing on how it's going to work on their own blog, and we have a bunch of questions. So I'm sure those are going to get addressed.
Today, Twitch announces we're going to blow up the moon. And that's all.
Yeah.
We're injecting a new feature into our streaming service. Details coming soon. We're calling it Gravity.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have something on it on Twitch Weekly on Friday. I would hope. I don't know. Or maybe they're just gonna let it happen, let us experience
Let it stew a little bit.
Yeah, that seems to be kind of the Twitch way. I don't know though, but I'm all for more ad revenue, I guess, and I think most streamers would be as long as it doesn't fucking alienate the viewers.
Yeah, that's my concern.
Yeah,
there's a lot of what was it? I just read someone in my chat just say a few seconds ago. Well, is this the time when I stop watching Twitch? Question mark. It's
wow.
Like I can see there's some people that are pretty vehement about ad block, and there's people that can't sub or get Twitch Prime that are pretty vehement about ad block. So I wonder if it's the kind of thing where, after their 10th, 15th, 20th ad, they're just like, you know what? Like, what if Twitch doesn't let us skip them? Because they're going to be in stream. So that means there's no external modifiers potentially. Again, lots of questions.
I also wonder
well, we'll still be in control of them. I mean, the streamers themselves will still be in control of when they.
We don't know what they're going to have to sacrifice to get around ad block. We don't know. So this is not a normal ad delivery system from the sounds of it. So
yeah. I also wonder how the volume control will work, because if they're in stream and not overlaid and not in the weird sense of that word, or not the normal sense of the word, how that, I don't know. I guess they're gonna
well, actually, if it was in the stream,
the volume thing should.
Yeah, if it was in the stream, the volume issues, that would probably fix the bug by itself, just by interjecting it, because then the broadcaster, it would be kind of mixed with the broadcaster's audio, so it's not going to blast above what they're doing. Yeah. They put in a basic sound sense thing, so it doesn't go above the cap or reduces from the top of the broadcasters. There'd be lots of ways to do about that. A lot more freedom if it's going in the stream like it sounds like there. But again, I don't even know if that's what they're doing. We're just taking guesses at this point. We have no idea.
Maybe a dragon's going to be created from this. I don't know.
It's going to be delivered by Stork or Raven. Most likely. Small ad packages, you unpack them, then check a checkbox. It takes it back.
Yeah, I think I heard Man Bear Pig talking about this. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, I think if this is the case, un-ad blockable ads, I think it'll change the way streamers that do roll ads. I think it'll make them think about how and when they do it. Because I still roll ads at 2 hours.
Yeah.
No one misses anything, because I let people know. It's you're just gonna see a blank screen with some light music playing over it for 3 minutes if you are a subscriber or you have Prime or something like that. You're not gonna miss any of the action when an ad is rolling anyway.
Right.
So, and I know there's a few streamers that roll ads 30-second ads during a stream. So I'm wondering if that's going to change the way they do that.
When I started streaming, it was common to just set Nightbot on autopilot. Streamer wouldn't even pay attention. Every hour, it would just it would even warn you in chat 30-second block incoming. I'm sure a lot of streamers still do. Yeah. But yeah, that was totally normal when I started.
Yeah. Huh. Well, maybe there's no. I was told in chat that there's no Twitch Weekly this week because of BlizzCon. So maybe we'll try to talk to someone about this and see if we can figure it out for you guys. If we can even share information that we get or have them on the show. I don't know. I'll try to reach out and see what they say. But it's time for a break, and Cohh needs a beer. So I need to go use the restroom. Zeke needs to go tend to his garden, and Feature Man's got to go check the time
lottery numbers
or the lottery. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back, talk about Titanfall 2, what we've been playing. And I think there's no other, and I guess next week's releases, because we got Dishonored 2 coming up. So
yeah, we can always fish out more questions if we need to fill time.
That's true. We could do a lot of things. Maybe some more news, because there's probably some small bits. But for now, we're gonna take a break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Drop Frames. We'll see you guys in just a bit.